Hi, I'm Kim Richardson. I'm a professional genealogist who helps you organize and plan your research so that you can break through barriers and solve brick wall problems. In genealogy research, we talk about using source citations a lot. They're very important, but why are they important? And does it matter how you do it, or is it just important that you actually capture the source? We're going to talk about that a little bit today. So, why is it so important to have a citation for your genealogy research, a citation source? Well, it's because if you don't have that source noted, then no one knows where you got your information. And honestly, if I don't write down where I found it, I'm likely to forget where I found it. So I want to make sure that I'm getting a source for every fact that I find that I add to my tree, because that way I can retrace my steps and find that research again. I can share my research with other people and it is sourced so they feel like that they are getting good information, good solid research. Have you ever found a genealogy family tree and there's lots of information there and you would love to know how they know that, but there are no sources. And so you don't know if they found it somewhere reliable or if it's made up or they're confused or they're mixing up other people and it's not really the family that you're researching. You have no idea because you don't know where they found the information. And so that's why it's important. It is the foundation of our research to be able to say, this is where I found this piece of information. Now, we know that without a source citation, our research lacks a great deal of credibility. Nobody knows or can tell if we did good research or not, if we can't tell them where we found the information. But does it matter what the format of that citation is? In genealogy, we have certain formats that we tend to use, certain guidelines that we go by, and is that really important? And the truth is that it doesn't matter what format you follow. It doesn't matter how you lay your citation out or which citation style you choose to use. There's a couple of things that are important, though. One is that you are consistent with whatever method you decide, whatever format you choose to use. You want to be consistent. And then you want to make sure that you're capturing the essential pieces of information about that source so that anybody can look at your source citation and retrace your steps and go find that exact same spot where you found the information. And so that is what you most need to be aware of, is writing down enough about the source that you could hand that information to another genealogist and they could very easily go find that source. And so that should ultimately be your guide as to what you capture, what information you capture. You certainly want to know who created that source, whether it's a book, an authored book, or a record, like a governmental record. You need to know who made that source. You need to know where the source is kept, whether that's at the local courthouse and which clerk's office it is, or whether it's online and what the URL is. You need to know a page number or direct someone down to the very specific place that you found the information. And that may mean that if it's a database or a website where there's a lot of written information, you count the paragraphs down and you say it's in the 7th paragraph. It may mean that on a census page, you give the house number or the family number so that people can find that information again, along with the county and the district information and all of that. You want to be able to direct another genealogist to find the source that you used. And if you capture that information, you're good. You want to be able to write down that information in the same way every single time and have a system so that if I look at your research, I can kind of see a pattern there and I can figure out what your system is and follow that, so that if I want to find the same source that you've used, I can say, oh, I know how they format their source citations here. They always put the page number after the book number, and so I know that that's how they formatted it. It gives the person a very familiar feel to finding your information and allows them to build a pattern in their mind that they can follow. And it just makes it a lot easier for all genealogists to follow your system if you're very consistent in what you capture and in the way that you cite your sources. You do want to be concerned about not separating the source citation from the fact that it represents. So if you've written up your research, you want to have the source citation at the bottom of the page where the fact appears. Same thing in your family tree software. You want it to be that the fact does not become easily disconnected from the source citation. One thing that I did when I started out in genealogy and creating source citations is I made a form or a template that I left taped to the edge of my computer that reminded me to make sure that I get certain pieces of information that are very important, like the author, the date of creation, the page number, where I found the source, where did I get it? Where does it currently live, so that someone else could find the same source again. So go out there and create yourself a template. If you need one, email me. I'm happy to share my template with you. But make sure that you prioritize getting the most important information so that someone can follow your source citation back to where you found that source. Another thing I've learned along the way is to make notes about that source as I go through the process of research. And so what I'll do is look at my record that I am consulting. I make notes about the source so that I can create my source citation. And then I analyze the record a little bit. Is it easy to read? Are there any problems there? Am I missing some of the source information? Am I not able to figure out what page it is because it's not numbered pages, or is the ink very, very faded so it's difficult to read? I just kind of make those little notes as well right alongside the source citation so that the condition of that source is noted. It helps other researchers understand where I was coming from when I noted that research, and it helps me remember what I saw. Another great idea is to go back through your sources from time to time and just make sure that they are still at the same website location, that nothing needs to be updated, the URL still works, and update anything that isn't clickable anymore. So if you need to get a new URL, or the website where you found the information has changed, you might need to update your source citation a little bit. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you are getting sources, that you are documenting them, and that you are consistent in the style and the format that you like the best, that works the best for you. Hey, if you want to see my system for genealogy research, check out the Brickwall Buster cards at brickwallbustercards.com. They're like a coach in a box. They walk you through the research process, and they're great if you're a beginner researcher, but if you also have a more complicated problem or a brick wall, they will coach you through solving that brick wall. So make sure you check those out. I'm going to link the proprietary system for you down below. Hey, please hit that like button down below. It helps more than you can know, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.